The following is a fan-based video review under fair use. The Jurassic Park and Jurassic World IP are owned by Universal Pictures, Amblin Entertainment, Legendary Pictures, Netflix, Steven Spielberg, Frank Marshall, Kathleen Kennedy, and the Michael Crichton estate. Please support the official release and streaming services. Hey guys! Welcome back to the Jurassic Park Legacy Reviews. This is part 3 of the series of videos. So, if you've seen part 1 and 2, good for you. Or if you haven't, go check that out. Or if you skipped to 3 and 4, I really don't give a shit. Okay. So, after the success of the first Jurassic Park and the second Jurassic Park, which I love, we come to the third part of the series. And this particular movie really pisses me the fuck off! Give credit, I have seen worse pieces of shit than this fucking movie. But there's a sense of betrayal in this film. So, let's get started. Released in 2001, this is not Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park III. This is Joe Johnston's Jurassic Park III. So the film begins with some guy and some kid going parasailing over Isla Sorna. But unfortunately their boat gets eaten by something they never seem to address. Seriously, why the fuck has nobody bitched about this thing, but yet they bitched completely over this movie? Or unfortunately, the guy and the kid parasailing end up on the island. Meanwhile, we cut to Alan Grant, who's babysitting his 5-year-old son. Aw, isn't that sweet? Alan Grant learned his lesson from the first film and has decided to marry Ellie Sattler and have kids with her. And here she comes now, being one of the main stars of this movie. Seriously, just kiss Ellie Sattler in front of her husband? Nah, that's not right. It can't be.
Nice to meet you, Alan.
Daddy,
wait.
What?
What? What? You mean to tell me this whole time since the first movie, Alan Grant got friend-zoned and Ellie married a different person and had kids with him? This is bullshit! You can see clearly in the first film that Alan Grant's story arc is complete and decides he wants to have kids with Ellie Sattler. They were gonna live happily ever after. And yet all that is tossed out the window for this bullshit that is a complete slap to the face to the people who cared about the characters? This movie is a bucket of Brachiosaurus balls! Balls! Shut up! So apparently Dr. Grant is losing funding from his digging exhibitions, and apparently he decided not to sell any stories about seeing dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Why did they have to make him such an idiot? But apparently he's persuasive enough to fly over Isla Sorna with a newlywed couple, played by William H. Macy and Téa Leoni, to tour them on all the species of dinosaurs. But unfortunately the plane crashes and they end up stuck on Isla Sorna, encountering various dinosaurs, including the new and evolved Spinosaurus, who can literally cause an extinction on the entire island. Joined by the surviving boy who turns out to be the couple's son, they must find a way to escape the island before they end up all as Dino Chow. So, from looking at my expression, you can already tell how I feel about this film. Well, in short, I'll let Ian Malcolm describe it for me.
That is one big pile of shit.
That is exactly what this fucking film is. So instead of talking about the dinosaurs, the story, or any of the effects, I'll talk about my personal take on what happened when this film came out. First of all, after Lost World, rumors of a third film were in development for a couple of years. But it wasn't until we finally saw a teaser trailer and I was excited. Not only did it give me chilling drums with the classic John Williams score and the jungle atmosphere, but it felt like the series was taking an even more dark turn than the second one. Hell, at this time the internet was becoming popular and many posters were going around the internet, including these ones. Holy shit, what's up with the humans and the egg concept? These posters seem really dark and really disturbing for a Jurassic Park movie. It looks like they were taking a new direction. And then we saw the teaser poster and we were kind of off about it. It didn't have the classic T-Rex, but instead the new dinosaur that would be the star of the film. But one thing that sold me was the Pteranodon silhouetted. We only saw the Pteranodons briefly at the end of the second movie, so this time they'd probably have a bigger role. And then of course more trailers showed up and got me even more excited. I was so excited to see another Jurassic Park movie, but I was also scared at the same time given its more darker tone. I thought it was going to get an R rating. But I went to see it on opening weekend at 9 years old and I was excited. But unfortunately, it all went to shit in the first 5 minutes. The fact that Alan Grant got friend-zoned? Really? Why did they have to ruin such a great character from the first film? Hell, I thought Laura Dern was gonna have a bigger role and she's only reduced to a brief cameo. What the fuck, movie? Oh, and did I mention the bar scene has a Randy Newman song? Yeah, that'll get people interested into a Jurassic Park soundtrack. Randy Newman! Randy fucking Newman! No offense to the guy, I think he's really cool. I love the Toy Story soundtrack, but oh my god, this is a Jurassic Park soundtrack! It does not require a Randy Newman song! But unfortunately, there was more bullshit to come. The second big bullshit moment for the movie happened in the airplane sequence, with this gem.
Alan!
How the fuck is that scary? Don't get me wrong, at 9 years old it's terrifying, but nowadays it looks fucking ridiculous. It's not even funny. I mean, was this meant to be played for laughs, or just to confuse the audience? And then of course there's the acting. Good God, the acting just got worse. Give credit, Sam Neill's trying to do the best with what he's given, but by God, William H. Macy and Téa Leoni, while great actors, are completely annoying in this movie. They pretty much have nothing to do except for shouting at their son 24/7. And then we get to the Spinosaurus, which, I'll be honest, is a pretty cool design. It's cool that they always introduce new dinosaurs in these movies. And this one looked ferocious. Jack Horner, one of the world's greatest paleontologists, and as I forgot to mention, the dinosaur expert in the first 2 movies, says that the Spinosaurus, and I quote,
is and was the biggest meat-eating dinosaur that ever lived.
Now that got us a little excited to see that the T-Rex was actually going to have a challenger on screen. And at this rate, we already knew they were going to fight each other. But then when it happens...
Fight! Finish him! Fatality!
This is where it died. Not just the movie, the whole franchise. We at least expected the T-Rex to get his ass kicked and then retreat to fight another day later in the movie, but killing the greatest dinosaur of all time off? That is unforgivable. I mean, what were they thinking killing off the main reason we go to see these movies? What, so you can have your new and improved dinosaur be the new kid on the block? Suck my Cockosaurus, movie! When I saw this scene happen, I literally left the theater. It was the first time in the history of my life I ever walked out of a movie. And it was unfortunate that I had to wait till DVD to watch the rest of it. So after what is considered the extinction of the Jurassic Park movies, there were actually surprisingly a few good elements in this movie. The birdcage sequence with the Pteranodons was actually quite suspenseful and actually felt like a Jurassic Park film. And I'll be honest, the whole thing with Alan Grant's obsession with the raptors was actually quite interesting and was really invested in watching. Speaking of which, let's talk about the raptors. While they are a completely different design than the first two films, which doesn't explain how the hell they evolve in a matter of 5 years since the second movie, are actually a pretty cool design. I liked how they improved on the evolving paleontology on what these animals looked like and how they behaved, including adding more bird features and a little bit of feathers. But I'll be honest, they're not as horrifying and as scary as the first two films. In all, they actually feel a lot more intelligent, but less threatening. Sure, they're able to spring traps and stuff, and that's pretty terrifying, but the overall look and feel and their presence doesn't have the same effect as the first two movies. However, it was cool to see some other new dinosaurs like the Ankylosaurus and the Corythosaurus. But sadly, a lot of the herbivore dinosaurs that we come to know and love are mostly reduced to cameos, and most of them have been completely redesigned to just look awkward. Like the Brachiosaurus. What the hell happened to those things? Remember how awesome and amazing the Brachiosaurus looked in the first film? Now they just look like a giant anamorphic version of a fruit roll-up. The score this time was done by Don Davis, who, I'll be honest, actually does a pretty good score here. He keeps to the same Jurassic Park themes and tone, but also adds a few new themes that keep to the style of the first two movies. But I'll be honest, whenever there's a Jurassic Park awe moment, it actually feels nostalgic to me. But of course, we have to talk about Joe Johnston, the director. Now don't get me wrong, Joe Johnston is a great director, directing such classics as The Rocketeer, Jumanji, and Captain America: The First Avenger. He's actually really talented and knows how to direct action sequences. But I don't think he's the one honestly to blame. Honestly, I think it's the writing and the story that's to blame. Everything the writers have written, everything in the story, is a complete slap to the face of the original film. The dialogue, the tone, the new dinosaur being the star of the show and killing off the T-Rex, all this shit just leads up to a popcorn movie, while entertaining, has a lot of bullshit in it. Jurassic Park 3 sucks dino shit. While give credit, it's not the worst film I've ever seen. Believe me, there's far worse dinosaur movies. There's just something about it that pisses me off. I will give credit, it's a fun popcorn movie and has some really good action sequences, as well as have some Jurassic Park moments. But the story is bullshit. The characters are terrible. The acting is awful. And not only was killing the T-Rex the worst decision ever made, but it pretty much sent the franchise to extinction. Overall, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. An entertaining movie, but is just plain stupid. And that's Jurassic Park 3. A pretty bad movie, but is at least tolerable. What do you guys think of the film? Do you think it sucks, or do you think it's enjoyable? Let me know in the comments section below. Join me in part 4, where we take a look at the next installment in the Jurassic Park franchise. A film that's been under development hell for 10 years and is my most anticipated film of all time. Will it be good? Will it suck? Tune in next time and I'll tell you all about it.